What's going on, everybody? My name is Echo Codex and welcome back to the channel. Now we have the Apex Coliseum Mojo boss here today, and this fight is actually pretty simple once you get the hang of it. The two main nodes that you're going to have to worry about are No Surrender and Resonating Aegis. And basically what that means is, whenever you get a degen on you, you're going to have 90% resistance reduced by 30% for each bar of power you have, but you put all the degens back onto Mojo if you can knock him down. So, punishing his heavy attacks and his special attacks really important here. And Resonating Aegis, basically you just want to alternate your special attacks and throw them pretty frequently. Otherwise, Mojo is going to get some sort of indestructible passive on him, and you're not going to be able to do any damage. So with Anti-Venom here, he's actually really good for this fight because you get a lot of that regen from the block damage, and he has a very easy heavy to punish Mojo with. So here we're going to be dodging the special 2, and with Anti-Venom you're going to go for that standard kind of rotation of the special 3, special 1, special 2, and then normally you want to just like cycle special 1s, but because of the Aegis node, we're either going to be trying to go for just one special 1, or we're just going to be restarting the cycle and going back for that special 3. But either way, with Mojo here, we're going to be wanting to try and punish as much as possible his heavy attacks and his special attacks. And the other thing to note is that Mojo, every like 10 seconds or so, is going to try and get an unblockable buff. But with the disorients on him from Anti-Venom, a lot of the times that isn't going to be happening. You see the unblockable failed right there. Mojo goes for his SP1, where we have 7 Furies on us, so here we're just going to be trying to rush up to a special 3. We've already used our special 2, so we don't want to use that again, otherwise he's going to get another indestructible. We go for our special 1 there. Not too worried about completing Mojo's challenges because we have that degen resistance and we can easily transfer the degens back onto Mojo with our heavy attacks there. So now we're just trying to bait out a special attack from Mojo here. It is going to be really important for you to know how to dodge his SP2, otherwise you're going to take a ton of damage and probably just die. We have a degen on us, but because we're knocking Mojo down here, we're going to be putting that back onto him, so not too worried about that degen damage at all. We had a little bit of lag before on the SP3, so whenever I just watch the SP3 through, it tends not to lag, so that's why we didn't skip there. But now we have our web passive on us. Got a little bit of degen, but we're going to knock it down and put that degen onto Mojo. We're going to try and get our SP1 out here as quickly as possible to get our other passive up. Mojo is not really playing ball, but we are able to get the SP2 out of him. And now we're going to be going for our SP1. We have our Accelerated Mutation passive, and now we're just going to be trying to rush up to our SP2 to get our Furies up. All the while kind of putting those heavy attacks on Mojo. That will also, even if the Disorient doesn't fail the unblockable buff, that stagger from the heavy attack is going to nullify it. So here we go for our SP2, a massive SP2, 8 Furies on. And now we're going to have to be alternating our heavy attacks and special attacks to avoid the sleep node, which isn't too much of a problem on this fight because we're going to be wanting to knock Mojo down pretty regularly anyway with our heavy attack and getting in striker opportunities wherever we can. Knock Mojo down here again. We're holding block, but that's totally fine. We still have our Accelerated Mutation passive on, but we don't really want to go for another SP1 because we just went for one and we don't want to put the indestructible on him. So you can see, like, we haven't even lost that much health, even though we've taken quite a bit of degen damage from Anti-Venom's regen from the block there. Dodge the SP2 here. He's got that indestructible passive on because we haven't hit him with the special attack. So we're going to be just trying to dodge his SP1 and then go for our SP3 so we can start to do some damage to him. We're already at 7 bars here, so we're making pretty good progress. And another thing to note is that in this round of Apex Coliseum, all the defenders are a little bit tougher and the nodes are a little bit tougher, so we're not going to be getting those 20-25 bar runs as often. If we're getting like around 15 bars, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's all we're really going for here on this run. We go for our heavy attack, put our stagger on, dodge the SP2. We're going to try and rush up as close to 2 bars of power as possible before throwing our SP1. Get our accelerated mutation on. Try and heavy counter here, knock him down, complete the prompt. Going in for a full 5-8 combo, and then we're going to try to rush up to our SP2 to get our Furies active. And these SP2s do a ton of damage. That's where the vast majority of our damage is coming from, is that SP2 and all the damage we're doing with our Furies after. Fortunately, that one didn't crit, so we only got a 70k basic attack there. But we were able to complete the prompt. We're on 9 bars already. Accidentally get hit by the last hit of the SP2 there, but we're able to transfer the degen over pretty quickly with our heavy attack. We go for an SP1, get our accelerated mutation passive on. Hit in with a striker, get rid of the sleep node. You can see that degen is actually ticking for 8k there, so it's not an insignificant amount of damage. Fortunately, we only got 4 Furies on that SP2 though, so we weren't doing as much damage as I wanted. We're at 10 bars of power, so we're making pretty good time, but the sleep timer is becoming a little bit faster now. We go for our SP2 to try and avoid the Aegis. An insane amount of lag there. Unfortunately, no crits, only 70k there. We have 4 Furies on. We're really trying to rush up to our SP3 now, if we can, ideally. The sleep node is becoming faster and faster. It's becoming a little bit more noticeable now. And go for our SP1. Just and refresh the Aegis passive. Go for our striker there. Knock him down. Put that stagger on. Put the degens on him. And it's becoming harder and harder to get into our main rotation of our SP3, SP1, SP2, just because of all the timers that are in play now with the heavy attacks, the strikers, and having to alternate our specials in order to do some damage. So here I think we're just going to go for our SP2 just to avoid that indestructible coming on, so we can still do some damage. Trying to bait out the SP2 from Mojo there. We're able to dodge it. No unblockable on him. We're going to knock him down here, reset the sleep node, put a little bit of degen on him. And now we're really not able to get up to our SP3 pretty regularly just because of how much power we have to dump for that Aegis node. So we're just going to really trying to be cycling our SP1s, SP2s. We're not going to get those Mega Furies, but we're still going to be doing a decent amount of damage. You can see that we blocked the SP1. We're still going to be regenning a lot of that back up, just due to Anti-Venom's innate abilities. We dodge the SP2 here. And one of the pretty good synergies that Anti-Venom has is with the Captain America Infinity War Striker, just because it increases his block proficiency so much that between that block proficiency and the regen that you have on block, you're going to be pretty well topped up for this fight. You can see, we've already taken 13 bars off and we've barely lost a quarter of our health. We'll probably go above a quarter of our health soon enough with the 4 regen stacks that we have going on. Go for a heavy attack here, knock him down. Another heavy attack, knock him down. Dodge his SP2. And you can tell how fast that sleep timer is becoming, so it's getting a little bit of a problem here. We're kind of noticing the pressure. Knock him down again. Trying to bait out his SP2. We're able to dodge that pretty well. We're at 15 bars already, so this is a pretty solid run from us. We're ticking down pretty significantly from that degen, so you really, especially at the later bars of power, you want to knock him down right away. You can't really tank a lot of that degen, even with the 90% resistance, just because his attack is so high. He dodges SP2 here. Go in for our striker hit. Gonna knock him down. Gets his SP2. Gonna try and dodge that, but unfortunately we get clipped and knocked out. But yeah, that's the Mojo fight. A little bit more difficult, but I hope this video helped you kind of learn the fight, get a pretty good sense of how to fight Mojo, and a good option there in Anti-Venom. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the good buttons, and I will see you in the next one.